Aloha everybody from Hawaii. My name is Luke Flowers and I am a counseling student with Liberty, and we're going to be talking today about Virginia State licensure and becoming an LPC, which is what the credential that you get in Virginia. So first of all, Virginia does require that the program that you're in be either KCREP or CORE accredited. There is another option that involves having a graduate course that meets certain criteria as defined by the Code of Virginia, and it has to meet very specific standards that seem to me to follow along with what KCREP and CORE also represent, and I guess provides some flexibility. These programs have to be identifiable as specifically counselor oriented. They have to have faculty that are licensed professional counselors, and identifiable student body that is in the counseling program. So it's those are some of the program requirements. For the education requirements, it's similar to a lot of the other programs in other states. 60 graduate semester hours are required, and they have to have classes conducted in the following 13 domains, which are professional counseling identity, function and ethics, theories of counseling and psychotherapy, counseling and psychotherapy techniques, human growth and development, group counseling and psychotherapy theories and techniques, career counseling and development theories and techniques, appraisal, evaluation and diagnostic procedures, abnormal behavior and psychopathology, multicultural counseling theories and techniques, research, diagnosis and treatment of addictive disorders, marriage and family systems theory, and finally, supervised internship, which is 600 hours and must include 240 hours of that 600 has to be face-to-face direct client interaction. So it's a lot. Just the program alone is a lot. And then once you are done, there are additional steps that are quite involved. I found that quite surprising to read all of the requirements out like this. But once you are done with the education requirements, you apply for a temporary license as a resident in counseling, and then you are supposed to complete 3,400 hours of supervised residency counseling practice, and 2,000 hours of those have to be face-to-face client contact, and this all has to be done with a supervisor that is selected who is also a licensed professional counselor, and they must also conduct counselor sessions with you as a student for 200 hours during this training time, and only 100 of those hours can be group sessions. So they can do group sessions with students, but then 100 of the 200 hours have to be individual counseling sessions with your supervisor. Then you take the exam, and you apply for the licensed professional counselor with the state of Virginia, and pay all these little fines, or not fines, fees, and you are finally able to be a licensed professional counselor. There's quite a lot to go through. I found it to be very educational to me, it does seem daunting. I think that last week we talked about, one of the things being this feeling that you are deceiving your faculty or your supervisors or even your fellow students by either showing that you are more adept at this counseling thing than you really are, or have more ability in that area. And I feel like that's kind of what I'm doing here is like pretending that I can do all this. But I think that's how a lot of people feel. I think that's normal, and I think that it's just like a really tall mountain that you climb one step at a time, and we'll all get through it. We'll all get through it, and just keep going. And you know what? If we need a counselor, then we have lots of them available to us to help us with our goal. So I wish everybody luck, and if you want to know more about Virginia, let me make sure I said everything I'm supposed to say in here. I said what's surprising. I told you about the requirements. The exam. The exam you have to take is the National Clinical Mental Health Counselor's Exam, the NCMHCE. And I think that's pretty standard. And then for the different, there are a few different endorsements that you can apply for. They just require additional supervised experience, basically. And once you're a licensed professional counselor, you meet all the requirements educationally, and so it's just experience that you need to gain on top of that. There's substance abuse counselor, marriage and family therapist, and also certified substance abuse counselors. So there are a few other options there, and I've gone on way too long. So thank you very much.